What's up, y'all? Welcome to Fury Talks. I'm your host, Seth Fury. So today's guest happens to be a very close friend of mine. We hang out often, so we know each other very well. And last week's episode, I feel like, was a little one-sided and a little one-dimensional. So I felt like we had to just touch on this slightly one more time, plus a little bit more good stuff as well. So with that being said, allow me to introduce my guest, my boy, Chris Milano. What's up, my man?
How are you?
I'm good, man. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Man, glad to be here.
So Chris is he's a man that lives a life that a lot of people envy. I mean, he does stuff. He travels the world. He has beautiful women around him. And I kind of just watch vicariously through his stories sometimes while I'm home working. I mean, Chris, you be living a lavish life, you know?
Yeah, you say a little bit in my DMs about
I do.
Give me some hard times.
I do my share of hating. Every now and then I feel like, you know, I got to be like, Chris, come on, man. You can't take me with you on a trip.
But I do extend the offers, though.
No, you're right. I mean,
Yeah.
we actually planning his birthday soon, so we'll go do something amongst ourselves and a couple other people. But I say all that to say, in that lifestyle, I know you tend to be around a lot of young, beautiful women,
Correct,
right?
correct.
And if you guys caught last week's episode, we spoke with Crystal, who was a mom, who had ill feelings with guys that do just that. And she just felt like it was disgusting. Like, there's no reason for an older guy to be hanging with younger women. And I know
get
you
a lot
love
of
younger
that.
women.
I get a lot of that.
You do.
Yeah, even from like some of my close female friends.
Yeah.
You know, they'll tell me, oh, they're young. She's only going to use you and things along that nature. You know? So I do hear a lot of that from females.
Okay.
But from my guy friends, it's totally different. It's like, bro, she's hot, she's bad, she's this, she's that. So I just think, you know, it's a different perspective for men on that than it is for women.
Of course, and I obviously see it, especially for women who have children. I think once they have children, they just start to see all those young girls as their daughters.
Right.
Or their daughters' friends.
But
and
now,
it makes
okay,
them uncomfortable.
But here's the thing, though, right? Young girls is one thing. Are they really young? If, you know, 20, 21, 22, is that young? Young to who?
Young to them because they're no longer that age anymore. For me personally, I remember where my state of mind was at 21, 22, and I felt very aware.
Right.
I felt very like, I didn't feel like the 12-year-old that they try to paint me out to be. You know, I think that, you know, if you really put yourself back in the shoes of like, were you that young at 21? I don't think so. But because they are now women and they look back on it, they suddenly see them as babies because of the fact that they can reference them to their daughters. That's what it is, yeah.
I get that, but, you know, they can't really reference them as a daughter if the girl is 22 years old.
Okay.
I mean, you know, unless they're, you know, a mother's age of a 22-year-old. So
Okay.
what I think they tend to do is they, you know, with all due respect to women, you know, everyone goes through that phase where they're 18, 19, 20. They're hot. Everyone's chasing them, this and that. And then as women get older and mature, they want to start building that family, settle down, things of that nature. So their mind state is that, like, oh, well, if you're the same age as I am, like, you know, say a woman is in her 30s, mid-30s, whatever. They don't feel like someone of equal age from a man should be dating someone that young.
Yeah.
They feel like they should be dating someone their own age.
Yeah.
Because they're looking for a family. And it really all depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, if you're looking to settle down, like, clearly it's an age difference.
Yeah.
So some of the things we grew up on or I grew up on, I know a younger female might not relate.
Yeah.
So it really just comes down to the point, okay, is this something that, is this someone that I plan on building a future with? Or is this someone I'm having fun with on a trip?
Yeah. Do you see it as exploiting them because of the fact that they're younger?
No, I mean, if that was the case, then the legal age should be, what, 25, 30?
I get it. Legally, you're doing nothing wrong at all.
Right.
And so this is where I see it. Just for you personally, if you had to choose your ideal girlfriend, let's say you were finally getting ready to make it serious, would you prefer someone younger? Or is this really just a casual time because you're not looking for anything serious?
You know what, honestly, bro, I feel like it's all a vibe. It's all on how you connect with the individual.
You don't believe that by their age difference that there are some things that they have to go through? Because I think when they say that you're going to be tormenting them, they see it as, you're going to be robbing them of their youthfulness in the sense where they're not going to be able to live a fulfilling life like they would have if they dated somebody their own age. Like, somehow you'd be rushing them to get older quicker because that's where you already are. And then
Right.
just like leave that poor precious baby alone. And I think that's the mindset that older women have.
But you're rushing them to get older quicker if you're in a mindset of let's settle down, let's build a family. I want, I potentially want to have children with you, marry you, and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Then I can see, okay, you're saying this to a 20-year-old, right? And she buys into it, and you move forward with that. I can see you're robbing somebody of their future at that point. If it's someone you're taking to Miami and you're having a good time, and it is what it is, you keep in touch, you good friends, it's no problem.
It's harmless.
Yeah. What are you robbing them of?
I get it.
You're actually showing them a good time.
Yeah. That's actually a great point because this is what I've always said. When I think back to when I was 21, 22, and I had an older girlfriend, right? She was in her 30s, right? She was a lawyer. She was successful. And I dated girls that were my age too. But there was something special about this one because this one was like everything that I never had before. I could go over to a crib and, she'd cook me a meal. She'd make me feel like the king of the house, you know what I mean? Like if the mood got right and we wanted to just have sex in the living room, we could do it. We didn't have to go hide in my room and hope that my mom didn't wake up. She set the bar. I was like, this is amazing. So, I always say it, it's not as if the older person is the only one getting something out of it. The younger person is winning, in fact, too. And if you set yourself up with a mature guy, like I know Chris is a nice, genuine guy. Everybody I introduced to Chris, somehow he takes them as my friend.
I do.
And they become his friend more just because of his energy.
Shout out to all my new friends that came through.
That came through me. And you know what? That's fine. Like I said, I'm fine with everybody being friends amongst each other. But with that being said, Chris is a genuine guy. So any girl that would meet him is not going to be experiencing some R. Kelly stuff. He's not going to be putting them in a cult and telling them, hey, move away from your family, don't talk to your family. That's that pimp mentality that they think all older guys are doing to younger girls. And I'm like, what if Chris, and even myself, is such a gentleman that we're in fact showing these girls what they should be treated like? So when they go back with them little young dudes, they can have an idea of respect.
So let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
And this is really a question more so for the women who are watching this episode.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take a 20-year-old, right?
Now, I'm going to say 22. 20 is a little young. Let's just rock with 22 to play it safe.
Yeah, I said 20 just because you said young.
All right, let's go 22.
For the record, 20 is young, okay? All right, you take a 23-year-old.
You got to be at the drink. All right, here we go.
You take a 23-year-old.
Yeah.
Let's go 23, Michael Jordan. Okay, so you take a 23-year-old, and she's hot, whatever she's doing, modeling, in school, whatever it is she's pursuing. Okay, so you meet her, and you take her on a trip, or wherever you take her. You just hang out, go to dinner, whatever it is. Most women that age don't date men their age because they feel the men their age are so immature. They're not going to be able to take them nowhere. So they're looking for that experience.
Yeah.
So what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to say, you know what, sweetheart, listen, I would love to take you out. But go find someone your own age.
Yeah.
Because, socially this isn't correct.
Yeah.
And, go to McDonald's or wherever date you're going to go on, have fun, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Take a trip to City Walk.
Yeah.
And call it a night. Is that what the women prefer?
No, you guys can comment below and tell us. I mean, and this is girls that are this age. We want to know if you're in your early 20s, do you prefer the lifestyle that Chris generally offers, which can be, first class, pulling up to the ropes, Lambos, whatever the case is. Chris, it's a lavish life.
And in all fairness, listen, I'm not selling no dreams. I'm not doing any of that, right? I'm just living life.
Yeah.
I travel, I hang out with friends, I got a good circle, and we do lit shit.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I meet women wherever city I'm at.
Yeah.
So it's not like I'm bringing someone all the time.
True.
I could be in New York, Miami, wherever it is. I might meet someone there.
Yeah.
And then we stay in touch, and they're like, yo, what you doing this week? Let's hang out. Vegas, this, that, whatever. So it's not like I'm on the prowl in my car there goes a 20-year-old or 22-year-old or 23-year-old.
Let me go rob her real quick.
Let me go pull up on her real quick because she looks like, the type I could swoop in on.
Yeah.
It don't work like that, man.
Tell her, you ain't got to go to college. I'm going to take care of you.
Yeah.
And then you break up with them and ruin their college opportunities and stuff. That's not what's happening here. So I say this to say, I very much believe that it's situational. I do believe that, yes, if you take an older guy who's a creep and you pair him up with a younger, vulnerable girl that is looking to fall in love and she thinks that this is going to be something special, when in actuality he knows he's just using her, right? I think that can be more of a mind mess up in that case.
Well, I feel you got to be, as a man, this is what I will say. You have to be transparent with what you want.
Yeah,
okay.
I agree.
And that's any age woman.
Yeah.
Whether she's 24 or 44.
Yeah.
You got to be transparent with her and let that person know, okay, I'm not looking for a relationship, or, I am looking to potentially get into a relationship. Mm-hmm. And at that point, you give them the opportunity to choose.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what the age is.
Yeah.
Because a guy can rob a 40-year-old of finding a man in the future the same way he could of a 22-year-old.
Yeah. And I was there. I had a girlfriend when I was 22 that was 40. And at the time, I enjoyed it because, like I said before, it was an exciting lifestyle to finally be the man in a house when you just came from being a little baby in your mom's crib.
Right.
It was a nice switch up. I'm like, suddenly I'm making rules here. It felt good. Granted, as I started to get closer to her and I started to realize what she was looking for, and I wasn't prepared to give that to her, I felt like I was going to rob her of her precious years. She's looking for a kid. Not to say all women were, but this particular woman wanted a kid within the next year. I wasn't ready. There's no way in hell I was ready for that. So I let her go. I was transparent. I was fair. That same age gap can apply in both directions. It's not always just the older one that has to be the mature one. Sometimes if you're younger and you're with somebody who's older, you got to be fair. Be like, listen, I'm not ready to give what you need.
Period.
So on both ends, I think it's all communication. And I don't think that you should brand anybody as anything without knowing them personally and knowing what it is as their intent.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I'll get slack from my female friends. They're like, oh, she's this age, she's that age, she's not gonna take you serious. She hasn't, like, who says I'm trying to be taken serious?
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what you'll run into. You can meet somebody who's 23 who mentally you vibe with. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter that she's 23 or 33.
Yeah.
What I'm saying, the 33-year-old might not have her shit together.
Yeah.
Mentally, she might not even be there. Mm-hmm. The 23-year-old might, okay, I want to go to college. I want to, after college, I want to be a lawyer. I want to be this or that. And mentally, you vibe with that person.
Yeah.
So it's all situational, man.
That's very true. I think me personally, I would probably not, like I said, this is me prejudging the situation without knowing any particular person that's out there. I would usually say I'd prefer to be around like 28 at least, right? Because I assume that by that age, usually they got some stuff out of their system. And you're right, sometimes you can be the most immature 28-year-old that there is. But I don't see any harm in just hanging out with 22-year-olds or whatever the case may be and just having fun because, like I said, they could be some very cool people.
And also, I mean, in all fairness, right, with us individually in our industries, what we come across mostly is on the younger side.
True, yeah.
So, it's not like I work at the grocery store.
Yeah.
And I meet some 35-year-old in the vegetable aisle. Like, you come across certain people based on your lifestyle.
That's very true. Yeah.
So
that makes sense. Yeah, because myself, I'm on Instagram. I'm an influencer in the market of what I do. So I attract a certain audience that might be younger.
Right.
I do have older followers as well, but I don't tend to, I guess, run into them as often. Now, would I in fact be ready to settle down? Like, let's just say I had a chance to hang out with a girl that was like, say, 30, right? And I saw that we had a potential like connection, like this could actually be my girlfriend, and I had a weekend available, I am of course going to choose to hang with her over the younger one if that's what I'm looking for.
Right.
Like I feel like this is what I've been waiting for. Now she's here, let's go. But if it's Friday night, I got nothing going on, I got no potentials, and there's somebody that's having an event at a house or something like that, of course I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna sit in the house and be bored. So that's why I'm gonna just go have fun.
And then you're gonna run into
somebody younger. You'll enjoy the night. You might enjoy the week or whatever the case may be, and you could very well stay friends. But listen, that could be what it is.
Here's the thing, bro. It's not like there's a age limit, right?
Yeah.
On the high side, like clearly there's an age limit on the lower side.
Yes.
But it's not like, oh, the female tells me she's 37 and I run for the hills. Like, oh no, you know what? That's you're too old.
Yeah.
There's no age limit.
Yeah.
So, you know, the range can go based upon what you need. But I want to touch on something real quick. Because what happens, and I know I'm probably going to get some slack from this in the comments, right? But what happens is women will tell other women, young or whatever age, girl, leave him. He's not doing nothing for you. You know, he's not good for you. He's not providing, you know, whatever it is. You're not going to find a lot of 21, 22-year-old men that are going to provide and help and help that girl through school or help her start a business or you know, give her the relationship she needs to boost her career. So what ends up happening is they tell us you shouldn't be dating a young woman, right? And then when the young woman dates someone her age, girl, leave him. He's not doing nothing for you. You can find better. So what's better? Is it a better 21-year-old? For the female telling the other female, you can do so much better. Right? She sees this female and say the girl's 23. She's dating a 23-year-old. He's struggling, you know? And there's nothing wrong with struggling, people. Just so you know, like, there's nothing wrong with struggling. Like, everyone struggles, keep pushing. I have nothing against anybody who works, you know, 9 to 5 normal jobs. There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes they can't provide for the person they're with. And their friends will be like, leave him. You know, he's not good enough for you. So at that point, if they don't want the woman dating older and they don't want the woman dating that 23-year-old who's in college, working his way through college or whatever, what's better? If they say find someone better, what is better at that point?
I get it. Yeah. Because, you know, it's funny. I think back to myself when I was like 25. And I had no money, and I was still, because I newly moved out to California, and I'm trying to date, and people are looking at me like, you shouldn't be dating right now until you get your stuff together, because, you know, what do you have to offer a woman? And I'm sitting here like, well, I got love to offer.
Right.
Yeah, don't nobody care about
love
that.
Don't
you should,
pay the
you know what I
bills.
mean? Like that. Yeah, like you shouldn't be offering it, because these girls and the girls that I was meeting, they were used to a certain lifestyle. Forget about what they were used to. I wanted to be able to take them to dinners, and I wanted to be able to do nice things for them without feeling like I had to borrow money from them or, you know, do some weird schemy stuff just to try to make it by. I didn't like that way of being. And I hated the pressure that it would have on my relationships because they wanted to do things so often. I'm like, hey, listen, we did our date for the month. All right, now we're going to have to just save up.
We already went on that dinner.
And I get it. So here I am in a much more comfortable position. I feel more inclined to want to date. Now, I don't need to go super young, but what I'm saying is it is a comfort level that comes with a little bit of stability that usually comes when you get a little older. You know, so whether you choose to date really younger, I do think that dating can be better when somebody is usually more financially stable.
Got you.
Usually it's the guy, because women don't like to pay for stuff.
They don't.
Which is fine, you know what I mean? Unless you happen to be that type of woman, kudos to you. Mostly it's the guy that is required to have to do that. It's the traditional way. It's the way I like to do it. I'm fine with it. And I feel like I myself think I'm a better catch now than I was at 25. I never know for 25. I was just a kid with a dream trying to figure some stuff out. You know?
You know what's funny, bro? I'm a firm believer, like, you know, personality means a lot in a relationship, right? So there's keys to a relationship, you know, how you get along with someone. Communication is key. And sometimes with the younger women, there will be a communication gap because of the age difference, right? But I'm also a firm believer of you have to basically, what you're attracted to is what you're attracted to. And somebody out there can't tell you you're wrong for what you're attracted to. If you're attracted to a hot 23-year-old model, there's nothing wrong with that. You shouldn't feel bad because somebody else is telling you, oh, you know, you're manipulating that situation because she's 23. Bro, you're attracted to what you're attracted to.
So I don't know if you heard this, but one of the listeners had commented under one of our videos, and she said that Marcus Houston recently dated or married a 19-year-old, and he's 39.
39 to 19, respectfully, you know, I wish nothing but the best for that relationship. I hope they last forever. But I wouldn't bet on that lasting.
I feel that.
19 is young to marry. At that point, I could see where someone would step in and be like, hey, listen, you know, you're robbing her of her young.
Especially with a marriage.
You're married. It's different from dating. You know, you date break up, you know, oh, I'm gonna block you, you go back and forth, and it's done. Marriage, like, that's different. Like, now she forever has to say, you know, if they get divorced, which,
Yeah.
you know, hopefully they don't. But if she gets divorced, now you're 21, right? Say they divorce in a year. You're 20, 21-year-old divorcee.
Yeah.
Like, I was married before. Now it's like you carry that baggage with you.
Well, I don't think there's so much baggage with being divorced. I don't think I've ever frowned upon a girl that said she was divorced. I was just relieved that she wasn't saying, I'm separated. Don't hit me with the separated. You know what I mean? If you're divorced, I'm like, yeah, that's fine.
What if they have a child? Because now, not only are you divorced, right? But now you have a child by your ex-husband. And you're 20 years old or 21 years old.
Okay.
This child is young,
Yeah.
right? So now, as a man, you come into that situation where, do I really want to carry this weight of, number one, stepping into a stepfather role? Number two, dealing with her having to deal with her ex-husband / child's father for another 16 years, whatever it is, until the child's 18. That's why I feel like at 19 to marry and potentially start a family, that's young.
What are your thoughts? Are there any difficulties that you find dating women with children? There's nothing wrong with women who are single moms at all. My mother was a single mother, so by no means, but I've been asked this question quite often by women who have difficulties dating men because they feel as if their child is holding them back. I don't think it's an impossible task at all. I do think there can be some hesitations towards it.
There's some
for
hurdles.
Respectable reason. There's some hurdles.
There's some hurdles, right? I think it all depends on, first and foremost, the relationship of how they co-parent.
Okay.
Okay. If they get along, if they don't get along, that's key.
Yeah.
Does one of them continuously try to get back with the other one?
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
Is it a fresh breakup? Things like that all add up.
Yeah.
And for me personally, I've dated plenty of women with kids.
Okay.
But you know, I'm a genuinely good-hearted person. So 9 out of 10, if the woman has a child, I try not to get too attached.
Okay.
More so to the child, unless I know it's going to be serious.
Okay.
Right. So
what do you feel about women that will intentionally try to build a connection between you and that child? Because there are a lot of moms out there that will sometimes want you to be in their child's life because they just want to see how it's going to click.
I don't agree with that.
Okay.
As a parent, right? Because I myself have my son's mother that I deal with. So you know, she's dated after me. I don't think that women should bring, or men for that matter, it works both ways.
Yeah.
I don't think you should bring people around your child unless you know it's going to be something potentially serious.
Okay.
Because you don't want that child to start to see men or women coming in and out of, you know, your life. You shape your child. Basically, they look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
So if you have a daughter, especially, right, you don't want to bring tons of people around.
Of course. Yeah.
Because now that daughter is starting to think that's okay.
Yeah.
To have different people in and out of your life.
So let me ask you this: how old is your son?
My son is 16.
Okay, so he's 16, which means he's at the age where his mind is functioning. He's old enough to know what's going on.
Right.
So as a parent, with your son being 16, and you mentioned the idea of shaping, you know, the way that he does things based on what you do.
Right.
Do you feel as if dating the younger girls has any effect on how he sees you, or just the way that he goes through life?
I do.
So in other words, do you bring him around the young, beautiful girls that are probably only 8 years older?
Yeah, you know, my son's mom have made comments, you know, she can go to school with your son.
Yeah.
They can go to college together. You know, she'll snap jokes at me like that. But I also have my son young. You know, me and my son's mom, by the way, have a great co-parenting situation. But you know, we had our child young, and we were able to maintain that relationship. But with that being said, you know, me and my son have a dynamic where we're kind of like, you know, we listen to the same music. We're kind of into the same things or whatever. But I don't tend to bring still people to my household.
Okay.
right? So he doesn't really see my lifestyle. Like he doesn't
Okay.
follow my Instagram.
So when he's in town, because you guys co-parent
Yeah.
separately, so when he visits you, the girls aren't around.
No, I'll have one or two that I'll bring around.
Okay, but they're like ones that you actually are cool with, friends
Yeah.
with. Okay.
And for the record, you know, anyone that I brought around him, with the exception of my ex girlfriend who I was with for you know a few years, are just friends.
Yeah.
So I tell my son, right? He had a girlfriend at one point.
Yeah.
I like, listen, son, you have to respect that relationship. And I try and teach him now.
Yeah.
Before, you know, because now that he's dating, I want him to know, like, number one, respect women.
Yeah.
Obviously, never put your hands on them. Things of that nature. But I tell him, if you're going to still entertain other females, stay single.
Yeah.
Don't commit to a relationship
Yeah.
unless you're ready to really commit.
Yeah.
And I think it's important, you know, like, yeah, you lead by example, right? And I feel like I do that because if I'm in a relationship, I'm in a relationship.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And I'm the same way. Yeah, like just because you're a playboy when you're single, or you just date around while you're single, that's why you're single.
Right.
You know what I mean? You're choosing to not be faithful to one person because nobody has caught in your attention to warrant that.
Right.
Once you settle down, oh, absolutely. I'm the most loyal boyfriend. I take
Yeah, it's
pride
over with. It's
in the
over
same way with you. Yeah, so there's a very big distinction. You know, sometimes, you know, they always say sometimes the players can turn out to be the most faithful boyfriends ever.
And
Not
it's
to say
true.
that I'm a player, but the people who have dated around and gotten stuff out of their system.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, at this point in my life, I've gotten to a point where I've experienced enough to know that I ain't missing that much should I get into a relationship.
Right.
In fact, I'm exhausted. Like,
know,
I'm to the point where I'm like, give me a solid girl right now, and I would take that 9 times out of 10 over being single.
Every time.
But if that's not available,
You know what?
what are you gonna do?
I feel like, you know, you go through a phase where when you're in a relationship, you want to be single. Right?
Yeah.
When you're single, you want to be in a relationship.
That's the cycle.
And I battled that. I battled that back and forth for a long time. But now I'm at a point where when I do like make that jump, like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
You're my girl. We're rocking.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's over with.
Yeah. And then,
Jersey and the Raptors.
I
It's
believe
done.
it. I believe it.
So with that being said, right? You tend to be around a lot of women.
Yes. But I'm around women through work.
Through
mostly.
work, okay.
Yeah.
But you haven't found one that you really like just vibe with, that you're like why aren't you in a relationship right now?
You know what? I think the thing for me is because I spend so much time working that I don't have enough social time to meet people that would be a potential, you know. And it's funny because Chris is always like, man, all the girls you work with, you ain't found a girlfriend yet. I'm like, to be honest, I've met some clients that probably would be phenomenal just based on the little bit I know about them when I work with them. But it's because of how I met them. It makes it damn near impossible for me to get to know them in that way.
Which, by the way, let me tell
Yeah.
you guys something. I have the utmost respect for Seth and his professionalism with his career and his job, because I'll tell you what, you know, I tell him all the time too,
Yeah.
like, bro, like, you didn't shoot your shot. He's like, nah, man, you know, it's business. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't go there. And I respect that. You know,
Yeah.
I have another friend of mine too that,
And for those of y'all watching and who don't know my career, I own a massage therapy company. So the work that we're speaking of is massage therapists. Yeah.
with a lot of women.
Yeah.
A lot of very good looking women. I might add. I just want to say I commend people who can be that disciplined.
Yeah.
With their situations.
And I will say my discipline does affect my personal life in a way that I never quite thought would.
I see that, and I
And
tell
it
you all the
is
time.
strange. Like I've made the sacrifice for a career over a social life, and it's tough. You know what I mean? Because, you know, I spend so much time making other people happy. You know, whether it be couples, making them happy on their date night, whether it be women that are just relaxing and chilling and they get to go home and have a big smile and go hang with their girlfriends. Like, I'm constantly serving happiness, if
Right.
that makes sense. And for me, it's tough because in order to do what I do, I have to maintain a boundary with everyone. And that's what sucks. But you be like, well, why can't you date her? And I'm like, well, because she's friends with her and she's friends with her, and those two are my clients.
And it's like
so if it don't work out with her, she's gonna tell those two
exactly
that not to work with me next time they have a girls' night.
And
I'm like, it's a circle.
I tell you this all the time.
Yeah.
I feel like you're almost blackballing yourself
I am.
from the dating scene.
Yeah.
Because
I know
you would rather give that massage.
Yep.
And make that money, as opposed to potentially seeing if it could turn into something.
Yeah. I know.
You don't ever feel like,
I do.
Enough is enough?
Not yet. I think I got to just keep going, and it sucks because as I am getting older and I am losing years, I am kind of pigeonholed into this position where until I can distance myself from the massage game hands-on and I can just allocate it to my therapist, I'm kind of stuck because I have to maintain the person. Listen, hear me out. And you guys will probably make sense of this. If you're working amongst people that are in a very, very connected circle, which is anybody in LA, especially the pretty girls, they all seem to hang out with each other,
right.
Which are a lot of my clients because of my Instagram influence. They all are on Instagram, so they book us a lot. You have to maintain a distance with all of them so that if you ever show up, even with guys, I have a hard time making a lot of guy friends because I can't be myself with them like I can with you. With
right.
them, they're like, I know this dude kinda. He's also my girl's massage therapist, so he's cool. I don't really know too much about him.
He's cool, but he's not that cool.
Yeah, he's cool, but I don't really want to open up to him too much because I don't know where his loyalty stands. He might go and tell my girl, something that I was trying to talk to him about, like on some guy stuff.
Right.
So I'm gonna save that for my real guy friends. And what it comes down to is, you can't just be hanging with guys like, yo, man, like, so I was with this girl last night. You know what I mean? And yes, I live a social life, but I can't tell them that because they're gonna be like, oh, so you be getting down like that, huh? You had sex?
Over.
Yeah. I'm like, well, I am human. Of course I do. Yeah, but I didn't think I want to hear it come from your mouth.
Right.
Now I got the image pictured in my head. Yeah, you ain't massaging my girl.
Yeah.
But if they're just like, here's this cool, mysterious dude. I don't know too much about him. None of the girls really ever had a personal experience with him. None of them can say anything bad about him. He didn't like sleep with any of them. Okay, come on and do this session. And you're right. I blacklist myself. And that sucks.
Here's your problem, right?
Yeah.
And it's actually a gift and a curse.
Okay.
I've seen your growth.
Yep.
Right? From, where you started with Hands of Fury to really where you're at now.
Yeah.
And I commend you.
Yeah.
Congrats, my brother. You're doing phenomenal. But with that being said, you're starting to massage everybody.
Yeah.
So it's going to get to a certain point where damn near all of LA is cut off from the dating scene. You're going to have to move.
Yo, yeah. I'm going to have to stop waiting at the airport and being like, hey, where you coming from? You new? All right, come on, let's go on a date. Like, you're right.
Seriously, you're I feel like you are taking yourself, because here's the thing. The women that you are massaging, right? They're quality women.
Yeah.
And like you said, everyone knows each other. So I feel like you are starting to almost not even friend zone, but massage zone yourself to the point where now, some of these women that you would have dated are out the question.
Yeah. You're 100% right, But I also think that there's a certain level of, there's a certain category that I fall in that I think is needed for people. I think that sometimes a girl wants to get a service from somebody without the idea of thinking that they're liked. Think about how creepy that would be if I come over there and they know even in the slightest bit that I'm attracted to them. They know they're beautiful. They hear it 1,000 times from every guy that they meet. When I show up, you'll never hear me talking about, damn, you got some nice feet, girl. No. I just shut all that off. You know what I mean? And I'm just like they don't know how I feel. They're just like, I don't know how he feels about me, but massage was bomb. I'll see you next week.
You're zoned in on the work.
Exactly, yeah. And so you're 100% right. I don't know where I'm going to go from here. I do think that because I'm so invested in my work right now at this current moment that I've put dating on the back burner as far as anybody that's in the scene. Now, if I meet a girl randomly, isn't on the gram, hardly knows anybody, if I give it a shot with her and it doesn't work out, it's probably not going to be a domino effect amongst everybody else.
Right.
That's something that I usually tend to give more of a shot to.
Now let me ask you this. What if a client shot their shot and actually pursued you? Would you turn them down and say, hey, listen, I'm your massage therapist, and it stops there? Or like, how does that work?
So this is how it works. And I get to ask this often. Generally, I say just that. I say no, I'm not. It also depends on the nature in which they asked me.
Right.
If they're like on the table talking to me and it's actually while working and I just collected money, then absolutely I have to say that. That's my thing. If I've given her a massage, 4 months later, I bump into her at the gym or at a club and she's no longer coming back no more. She literally probably just wanted that one massage to get the experience and that's all she really had in mind, maybe just to meet me or something. Then in that case, I might be like, okay, you're not my client anymore. You know what I mean? So I would just decide on that point, is this worth somebody I even want to date regardless? And then, yeah, but that's not too often that it happens. Usually what happens is I'll do a big old party, right, with a bunch of girls, and then I'll see them at the club the next night.
Right.
And they'll all be like, hey, now normally I want to run up to all of them and be like, hey, what's up, girl? But I'm like, you can't do it tonight.
Can't do it, yeah.
They're going to be like, who's that girl? Oh, that's how Massage said he came by last night. He's like, oh, and he's hugging up on y'all like this?
Right.
Like, what happened at that party?
Yeah.
No, nothing. He was super fair. Oh, well,
Got
that's what it is. And so I remember seeing a group of girls at the club the next night after a party, and I kept saying to myself, thank God, I did what I was supposed to do. I came and I left because this would have been real awkward seeing them all right here.
Rough.
If I was in there like, hey, so my work's done.
Right.
Y'all got a drink? Hey, man, get your ass out of here, man. Job's done.
I think you have to find a medium, bro.
I'm going to have to find, well, you know what? I got Fury Talks. This is another opportunity for me to step away. I'm at the place where I'm trying to step away slightly from hands-on 24/7 Hands of Fury.
Gotcha.
All right. For those of y'all who work with me, I'm still here, but I am building a team. And I do believe that as I get older, for one, it's not going to last forever. Yeah, I mean, it's a physical job that you're doing. My hands aren't going to last forever. So I'm trying to prepare for somewhat of a exit route.
Hands of Fury going to turn into Hands of Agony.
No, I mean, hands arthritis.
Yeah.
And I believe that when I finally find a way to separate myself from the brand so much that I'll have a better opportunity at dating.
So let me ask you this on the flip side.
Yep.
If you strictly dated a girl,
Yeah.
and then for whatever reason it didn't work out, and she called to book a massage with you,
Yeah.
would you do that?
Absolutely. This is how I do it. Listen, when you own a business, time is money, okay?
Right.
I don't care if we are currently dating each other. Like, let's say we started dating first, and then you were like, hey, I would really love to try your massages. Oh, word? Well, go ahead on this website, book me.
Would you charge
and
her?
when absolutely. Because I've learned that if you're going to date around, you can't be giving free massages to everybody. So unless you're my girlfriend, you are not getting a free massage from me.
Gotcha.
It's just not happening. It might happen in foreplay, but it's going to be a 10-minute foot massage, back massage, just like any other brother would do.
Well,
you ain't going to get no Hands of Fury experience just because you met me and we said hi a couple times at the club.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
Free massages. Free massages.
Yeah, if you want the Chris massage, you're going to get that, and you're going to get that from me too. But when I bust out my table and I do what I've been gifted to learn and do, no, I just don't give those out. And so I'll be like, listen, you could book an appointment, and she's going to show up. I'm going to step out of the room, let her dress as if I ain't never seen her naked before. I'm going to come in there and be like, okay, thank you, ma'am. And I'm going to do a massage, and I'm going to let her leave. You can come back on another day, and we can continue this dating. Because I'm not going to rob you of my skill just because we're dating.
Right.
I just can't do it the other way around. But no, they know that. And I think it's kind of gangster how they can enjoy my skill that much that they can still see the value in paying for what I do. Because they're just like, listen, I know this is your job. I'm not about to just think because we went on one date that I'm about to be getting your expensive service. Just,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, no, shoot.
No,
I mean, they made, I know they probably came in like, ooh, free massage.
Right.
If you're my girlfriend, yes. Not just a girl I date, especially if I'm dating around. Like, I ain't got time to be giving a massage to everybody. Okay, so you know my story. Now, why do you think you're single? Do you think it's because of your lifestyle?
I'll be honest with you, bro. I've been very, I don't think promiscuous is the word to use. But I've dated a ton of women in my life.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm at the point now where I have to mentally be able to connect, right? The sex is sex. For me, it's like, after we have sex, do I want you to stay here?
Yeah.
You know,
that's when you know you like somebody.
Or am I gonna, fake an emergency
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta go real quick.
See my son. He
you know,
he got locked out the house.
Where you at? I gotta come get you now. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So to me, it's like, I just feel like I have so many
Options.
I have a lot of options, but it's not. I don't want to say options, right? Because that's the wrong word to use. I have so many cool females in my life that I'm cool with.
Okay.
That, you know, it's taken a minute to really find somebody who is just over the top. Like, damn, like.
So you're looking to find somebody that's gonna make you forget about everybody else.
Yeah, you know, not necessarily forget, but like she's ahead of the pack.
Okay.
Like out of everybody that I conversate with or phone calls, like when my phone rings or texts, I'm hoping it's that person.
Okay.
Right. So, you know, it's taken me a while to find that.
Okay.
But, you know, I feel like I'm getting to the point where I might have found it.
Okay. Well, that's good. Now, how you know that? I don't know who she is yet. I don't want to jinx it. I hope to meet her eventually soon. But what makes you feel like this one is something different than the rest?
I'm excited when I see the call.
Okay.
You know, it's somebody.
That's a start.
Yeah, somebody that I want to share my day with.
Okay.
On what I did throughout the day.
Do you feel as if you're... Because in order for it to work, you're going to have to cut back from all the other interaction with everybody else.
Right.
Are you ready for that?
You know, I've been able to successfully, and if you follow me on Instagram or you see my stories, you know, like I've never been shy about posting. One thing, like I said, I'm transparent in what I do. I've posted numerous women, and you know, from either my house, on trips, here, there, wherever. Yeah. But I've never made anyone feel like, you know, you're my girlfriend, I'm your boyfriend. Okay. I've never let anybody on.
So your communication is just on point.
My communication, look, this is my lifestyle, this is what I'm doing. Yeah. You know, you have the choice. You want to hang out, cool, we can have fun. If you don't want to hang out, I understand. Yeah. But, you know, I'm giving you the real. Because you're going to see me on my story with other females. Yeah. So, you know, if you're going to get in your feelings or whatever, I'm not hiding it. Yeah. I'm not going to hide it from you. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you.
And you don't think that by women seeing that, they're like, I ain't dealing with this dude.
You know, some might, you know, and listen, I've had women tell me, you know, mostly my good girl, I got a solid group of female friends that I'm like really, really close with. So we talk about it, and, you know, some of them tell me, you're not going to meet a quality woman like that, right? Yeah. But who's to say I wouldn't? Because you know what I've noticed? I've noticed that the more women that I've posted and I'm around, energy, light attracts light.
I also think that the more women you post like that, the more women that are like that are the ones that are attracted to you, which are the ones that just want a good time, right? I just don't see myself seeing a girl posting all these dudes and me wanting to say, I think that's the one. I just wouldn't do it. I would just be like, man, like, well, even when I see girls that I'm slightly interested in and some dude comes up behind her and kisses her on the cheek or something like that, and she's posting, I'm just like, oh, she got a dude.
I'm sure I'm going to get some slack for this too. Oh, but women shouldn't be like that. They shouldn't. You're laughing. You can't agree with me on camera. Okay? You can't agree with me on camera. I get
it. Go ahead.
Women should not date around. It's not ladylike.
Hey, don't crucify me in the comments. But listen, I get it, Chris. Even if the camera wasn't on, I still don't think I would agree with that statement, to be honest. Because I just really don't see why. You know what I mean? Because I think it's definitely going to be more frowned upon because we hold them at a higher level of expectations. I get that. You know what I mean? But, and tradition and stereotypes say that men should be the one dating around and, you know, soiling their oats and stuff. But I don't, especially this day and age.
Let me clean it up a little.
Go ahead.
Okay. Let me clean it up, guys. They should not date around publicly on display for everyone to see, is what I mean.
But they do anyway, especially nowadays on Instagram, because people promote that and encourage that. Every song on the radio is telling girls to do just that. So when they do that, along with the WAP challenge and every other sexual thing that they're, you know, promoting, it's really becoming normalized. So at this point, it's going either way.
Maybe 3 guys. You'll see a girl, oh, she's dating this guy. You know, now she's dating this guy.
What I'm saying is, regardless of whether they are able to put it out there or they choose to put it out there, I myself am still gonna go with the girl that doesn't put it out there.
Right.
That's just me.
So in all fairness, you're agreeing that you think
I'm agreeing that nobody should put it up there if they're trying to get themselves taken seriously.
Right.
That's all. Like me, I don't date. If I go on a date, I'm not posting anybody unless they're actually my girl, because I just don't feel like I would want to cut myself off from somebody who might be looking to date me that I actually might like. If I'm just dating around, I'm like, oh, this is a cool little date. Went to the movies, cool. This ain't gonna be my girl.
So
why am I gonna put her on, announce it to the world, like so that everybody else who might actually be my girl can say, go ahead.
So it's cool to keep it secret.
It's cool to keep it to yourself.
So be sneaky. That's what you're saying.
No, be private. You don't have to announce your every girl that you're dating to the world, especially if you know it's gonna give a message that's not the one you want. The only message you're gonna give is that, hey, I'm a playboy, I'm having a good time, so if you just wanna have a good time, come join the club. I got the robe upstairs for you. You can join the cult.
Hey, here for a good time, not a long time.
No, but that's all, yeah.
In all seriousness, right? I've posted like I've posted, right?
Yeah.
Because I just didn't care.
Okay.
I wasn't looking for anything.
Okay.
It wasn't like I was actively like, you know what? I want to find a female to settle down with, so I'm going to post all these women.
Okay.
That wasn't my mind state.
Where's it at now?
My mind state now is I've scaled back that posting.
So, okay.
Right?
Well,
Would you agree?
yeah. Like I said, I haven't seen no close friends pop-ups in a while.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
like, I still live the life. I still
Yeah.
gonna travel, have fun, and things of that nature. But I'm taking things a little bit more serious.
So
now.
you're publicly preparing yourself for something to come.
Yes.
Because that's I had my friend Air on here, who is in a relationship now, and he spoke about that. He said, when you start to get ready for a relationship, you do sometimes have to mentally prepare yourself, because it's not always easy to just go from being this ultimate playboy into boom, now I'm in a relationship. Why? Because for one, it's very hard to cut off 10 girls at the same time without having some spillage and some really emotional baggage, especially if maybe let's say they weren't like really in love with you, but they just really enjoyed your company, and now you're telling them, hey, I can't really hang with you no more. They might feel some kind of way.
Right.
So I myself, when I feel like I've gotten into my relationships, it was usually when I had some moments in which I was like kind of just solo. I was really just doing stuff. I was working on me, and when I met a girl, she would have my full attention. Maybe she might be competing with like one other girl because I met her first.
Right.
But very quickly I can decide which one I want, and then I'll give my full attention to. But I don't think I could go from that state of mind to switch into, you know what I mean? Because let's say you got stuff planned. Like say you got a plan to take 10 girls on vacation next week, and then you meet a girl at the grocery store 5 days before that trip. You're gonna be like, hey girl, I really like you, but listen, hold that thought, because I gotta go I gotta go live this trip because you just came out of nowhere and I wasn't expecting you. You see what I mean?
You have to decompress.
Okay.
Right.
Yes.
So you have to start, and more so, what I've started to do now, it's not even just like, okay, let me quit posting so much wild shit, right? It's more so like, let me get more focused.
Okay.
On my company's business.
Yeah.
And with that, start to take things a little bit more serious. I think I had a wild streak here for probably a good amount of time.
Okay.
And now I'm to the point like, okay, the wild streak is fun. I'm gonna continue to have. One thing I'm gonna continue to do is have fun.
Okay.
And live life.
It's not a bad trait.
Right. But if I can do that with somebody that I enjoy their company being with me, it's that much better.
Yeah.
It's that much better.
I get it. I honestly, a lot of trips I go on, I just be like, damn, I would rather be doing this with a main girl that I really like than my homie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I love you, dog, but at the same time, like, I'm at a stage where I would like to start sharing life's moments with somebody.
Building memories.
Yeah, building memories. So to sum this all up, I feel like we covered a wide variety of topics. One of them was more so the stereotyping of older guys dating younger girls and how there can be some different perspectives and some different case-by-case scenarios in which it's not always bad. Sometimes it can be paired up with a good guy. That could in fact be something that's a positive experience. Sometimes it can be a bad experience, but that could come with anybody at any age if they're just a negative person or a bad energy person. We also covered the topic of parenting while dating as well. Some of the difficulties and hurdles that you face being a parent trying to date. It's not an impossible task at all, but there are certain ways that you should go about it. I think Chris gave some very good examples of the appropriate ways of dating and introducing new people into the life while having children. And I think it was pretty healthy in my opinion as well. Lastly, it is very important to start getting your mind right, making the necessary changes that you have to in your own personal life to prepare you for somebody to enter your life. Sometimes you may need to refocus the way that you go about your work and the way that you balance your dating life, because at the end of the day, life is about building connections and romance, and so you don't want to bury yourself so much into work that you lose sight of that. All right, y'all, thank you so much for watching Fury Talks. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Chris, my man, thank you for coming on. It was an absolute pleasure. Tell everybody how they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram. I am Saint Driptifer, like Christopher, but Driptifer.
And if you guys don't know too much more about Chris, Chris is a fashion designer. He owns his company Drove, which I usually wear all his clothes.
Yep.
I'm ready for my new package.
I got a box coming for you.
My man. And super talented guy, stocks. If you guys need any stock tips or any knowledge or business advice, this is the guy. He's a whiz, and I truly respect him for that matter. So definitely follow him if any of that sounds of interest to you. Again, thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to hit the post notification button so you can see when our next episodes come up. Thank you as always. See you guys next time. Fury Talks. Later.